share some things with you about HR. I'm going to share some things with you about business structure and also tax strategies. We have here today will be myself, Patrice, Register of PLRS Services. We have Karen Walter from One Source HR Solution. And then we have Ms. Dion Thomas of Tax Strategies. So we're going to start out with just talking a little bit about business structures. Who's here today coming as an entrepreneur or as a small business? There is a difference. The difference is, as an entrepreneur, your one is that you're an individual, you possess a high degree of tolerance for risk, and you're typically motivated by possibly of introducing a new good or a new service and potential for a financial gain. As a small business owner, you tend to be motivated by a business success that mainly is your objective, is to have a small business where you can actually employ people to join you within your business. A couple things that I want to talk about real quickly here is, as a small business owner, I think it's a good idea that you start out seeing how you would like to structure your business. And the first thing is as a sole proprietor. Now, this information in this little pamphlet right here is something that I grabbed from the corporation division. The corporation division, it kind of gives you an outline of what each entity means. As a sole proprietor, that means that really you have no real protection. It's just you dealing with all of your business things. Or you can set your company up as a corporation, as an S Corp, or as an LLC. Now, LLC is one of the newer structures. It only began a few years ago. I'd say probably about 8 or 9 years ago, people started setting up LLCs. And you can do something that what they call an LLP is actually for attorneys. And then you also have the professional liability corporations.
Like medical doctors? Medical doctors?
Medical doctors, absolutely. Medical doctors as well. Or realtors, real estate agents, you know, can obtain a PLLC. So with that, in this little booklet, it kind of breaks down what each one of those does, what are the advantages to each entity, what are the disadvantages, and then what I suggest people do is, before you make a decision on which entity you want to select your business structure to be, is to consult with your financial person, because there's a lot of tax liabilities with each one, and then there's other things that you can get a benefit from being a corporation. So I definitely encourage people to check with their accountant, your CPA, if you have one. If you don't have one, I suggest that be one of the people that you get on your team when you're starting to look at how you want your business structured. The other thing that I want to talk about real quickly is, as you go to prepare your structure, a lot of people feel that they don't need a plan. Planning is very important, and for a long time, and I'm going by, I have to confess, for a long time I did not do a business plan. I had an idea in my head what I wanted to do with the business. I kind of scribbled something out on the paper, but really a business plan is a guideline to where you want your business to go.
It's like a roadmap.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so with that roadmap, you want to make sure that you're including all those things that you're wanting to accomplish within your business. If you know, some people say, well, I don't want to grow my business large. It's not even about growing it large, but at least you have some direction as to where you want to take your business. So I do suggest that. With that, as part of that plan, you have to have an accounting system set up within that, because how are you going to pay people? How are you going to receive payments? Those type of things. So then that's where I think you need to decide the two basic accounting methods is cash and accrual. What that means is that if you want to set up your business and to just be a cash basis business where you do a service for someone or you give someone a good, they pay you with cash, check, credit card, whatever, but you're taking that money in return for something that you've given. On an accrual basis, it's like accounts payable. People have accounts payable. What that means is that if you have an account, say you have a customer and they want to pay on account, they can't pay you right then with those funds, but they want to pay you later. That's what we call an accrual type basis. I want to talk a little bit about funding your business. Now, there's something that they call 3 F's. You can use family. I kind of got to stick around because we're kind of running a little bit out of time. But 3 F's for funding. Funding is your family, your friends, and fools. Fools? When I first heard that, I was like, fools? What does that mean? Well, basically what it means is someone who has money and want to invest into, because they don't know if they're going to get a return on their investment, they're just taking a chance on you. So, not necessarily they're a fool for doing that, because you could really have a good idea, and that good idea could really turn into something very, profitable. However, they are taking a chance on your service or your product. So when we're doing that, you have to be very careful that you offer them something that they feel comfortable with. Was what I say when I started my business. I saved. I was working a job. I just decided, okay, I'm going to set a budget aside to start my own business. So I would put like $25, $100. I'd skip a lunch or two, during the week because I would eat out. And that's another way to fund your business, is cut out eating out. Cut out buying those sodas. Believe it or not, that 50 or 75 cents, well, it's not even 50 cents anymore. It's what, like $1.25. Yes. So I'm kind of dating myself a little here, but just cutting out that, and you will see how much you would save to be able to start your new venture, if it's a new venture, or to extend what you already have if you need to cut corners. So there's many ways of funding your business. Another way that I think is really cool is, now this kind of goes on the fool's end, but we have a lot of friends, that have savings, and they might want to be able to do something with their money, and they have it in maybe the stock market. In the stock market, they lost so much money. Banks today, the CDs, a lot of people have money in CDs. The CDs are paying, 0.13, I think I saw at Chase the other day. I was like, that's insane. It's not even 1%. I mean, and you're going to hold my money for 5 years? I mean, that's just insane. Well, what I say is, if you have a good idea, or you have a business that you're currently are doing, what I would suggest is you go to your friends and say, look, how about investing in my business? Most times you can, I would say, guarantee a good return on their money, even if they invested $100. Just think about it. If you got 50 of your friends, and I know everybody in here knows at least 50 people, okay? 50 people to invest $100 into your idea or into your business, how much is that? That's $5,000. What can you do with $5,000? You can increase your marketing budget. You can increase, say, your products. You can buy more products to be able to sell those. And then what you do is you create a promissory note to pay those monies back. Now, a good rate of return is 8%. That's very enticing, to offer someone for $100. I give you $100, and I get paid back 8% of that. That's not bad at all, especially when the banks are not even close to offering you that in a savings. Now, the key to that is you don't want to burn bridges. You want to make sure that you pay people back. You pay them back at the 8%. Now, if you got 50 people, you got that $5,000, surely you're going to make at least a $1,000 return on that investment. You stagger it. You take 20 or 25 of those people. You say, okay, in the first 6 months, I'm going to pay that loan back. the next 6 months, I'm going to take the next group of people and pay them back. So that way you're paying an increment, not all at one time. To me, that's one of the greatest strategies. And that is something you can get people to buy into real quickly. Because if I saw someone like Karen, she's got an HR business. I like the way she's got her strategy set up. I would be happy to give her $100.
And I hold you to that.
I would. I would be happy to give her $100, knowing that I'm going to get an 8% return back on my $100. I may ask for 10. But nevertheless, that's $110. She can pay me back $110, you know. And so for the larger businesses and people who have maybe a lot more money, you can ask for $1,000. Even at this point in time, $1,000 is not a lot of money on one hand. On the other hand, it is. But if you're offering someone an 8 to 10% return on $1,000, that's really not a lot. That's manageable for you. So you start out at your comfort level of what you think you could be able to pay back. Then once that's paid back, they'll be happy to come at you again. You go to them again and say, okay, here's another investment. So these are some ways that I think funding your business is a good way to start if you don't have cash on hand other than saving yourself for your business venture. You do have out there are loans that's offered by the SBA. Those are pretty low-cost loans, and they're fairly easy. But again, you got to go through a regiment credit check, you know. And some people do not have that ability to, or have the credentials, I should say, or even the assets to be able to go through that loan process. But that is another option for funding. Another option is angel investment. Now that's kind of what, in a sense, that's what your family and friends are. They're angels. They're investing in you or in your idea. There's, I know here in the Valley they have something, a group called Desert Angels, Venture Angels. And then there's also venture capitalists. Now, those are good groups of people to use for funding your business, but usually they want to take a portion of your business. So I'd say be very careful on how you would negotiate your deal with the venture VCs, because they are known to be, you know, although one thing I have learned about them since I've been working with them here lately is that they offer mentorship, which is really good, because if you're a new person starting out and you don't really know how to get your business going or what you need to kind of dive into the business, they have mentors there that have done that, been there, as they say, been there, done that. And they can help you along how to build your business and how to make it a profitable business for you. So that's one of the things that I know that venture capitalists do offer to you. Also, angels do as well. They do offer that type of service. So those are some of the ways that I think will be a great way for you to be able to fund your business. Now, I'm going to introduce Karen Walter. Karen is going to give you some great HR tips. Karen, you sure about that? Yes. Okay. I will let you put this. Switch with you.
Thank you. Oh, I don't get videotape. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr.